Welcome back, tribe. So like I said to you, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on how to improve your bio so that your bio is basically a caption of what your account is about and the type of people that should be following your account. So I'm just going to quickly show you here, but I'm going to try and use my other phone and just point out a few tips and features that I think are quite interesting. I've been helping out a few people on this, and I think it's a free tip, and I believe in adding value to people. So I'm going to show you here. This is my profile here, and the thumbnail is, I'll try and point it out, is that picture, that tiny little picture that you have there, or they don't know anything about your account. The first thing they're going to look at is how interesting is your thumbnail. So your thumbnail is that little tiny picture that's able to tell somebody within 5 seconds of them looking at it what you're all about. If somebody's looking at that and you've got a really poor resolution picture, that's the first thing that people tend to judge your account by. So for example, if you're a restaurant and you have a picture of a cat as your profile picture, that doesn't really translate a message that you are a restaurant. So the first thing I would say is, if you have a bad thumbnail, then that's the first thing that you need to fix. Get yourself a good picture that you can take a good picture of, and just make sure that that picture translates what your account is about. So for example, with myself, I constantly change the thumbnail. I keep it on for a little while, but I think that picture really just says a lot about my personality. I'm trying to do, because I do digital coaching, which means that I actually teach businesses and I teach people on how to help themselves improve their brand presence, and also just teach regular Joes on how to get better at winning at life. So yeah, your thumbnail is so important. That's the first thing people see. So sort out what the first image and the first impressions that you want people to see. I mean, it's quite simple. It's first impressions make lasting impressions. So make sure that your first impressions are really good. Says edit profile. So when you go into your edit profile, I'm going to go into my edit profile here, and I'm going to look at what I have there. So you have a section that says your actual profile name, so Kipepeo Trails, and the Kipepeo Trails is my handle name. So when people say, what's your handle, that's your handle. It's like, what are you referred to as on your brand or your Instagram feed? Like, what do you want to be known as? So that's my handle. And then you have something down here which says, I don't know if you guys can see that, it says name. I mean, it's in reverse, but if you can open up yours, you'll be able to see it. Now, this section here that says name, this is really important. When you're doing searches, and especially something called SEOs, these are search engine optimizers. It's the same as what you have on Google. It's the same as what you have in any search engine. So that's basically Instagram's search engine. So I see a lot of people that put their first names and describe themselves, but that's the wrong place to be putting it. With search engine optimizers, these are key search words. This is basically, if I type in the word chair, then it'll come up all over the world with anything that anybody's searching for under that name or under that word chair. So if that's where you're going to pop up. So it doesn't matter what somebody's searching for. So I would say, first of all, improve on the kind of SEO keywords that you want people to find you in. So for example, just make sure that you've got words up there that are related to that brand. And if you're not a brand, maybe you're just having fun for Instagram, just try and figure out what category you fall into and fix that according to that category. So that's where you need to fix your searches. That's where you're going to pop up on Instagram. Now the next bit you've got is username. I've been through the username, and username is quite important. I see a lot of people that have usernames like Charles2358, or you see people with like some random thing name. It's going to be very hard for people to find you. So for example, you've got 100, 10028 Blue Rift restaurant, I think I'm making sense when I say nobody's going to find you. So please make sure that the names that you're selecting, no matter how cool you think they sound, they've got to be practical. They've got to be easy for people to be able to search for you. It's got to be easy for people to be able to find you online. And the first mistake that people make next to their thumbnail is picking usernames that are extremely difficult for you to be found. So if you're a business that's trying to look for online visibility, then I would suggest first of all fix that. If you've got a brand and you've registered a brand name, then I would say stick to your brand name, but also make it easy for people to find. Like, so for example, I've got the word the Kipipeo Trails. I mean, that's a very complicated word, but I do have the word "the" in front of it, which makes me the only person under the Kipipeo Trails. Kipipeo is a Swahili word, so not every English user will be able to find it. So that's why I selected to put an English word in front of a Swahili word and finish it off that way. So yeah, make sure that you fix your thumbnail to be able to give people the impression that you want. And your SEO searches, make sure that you're easily found by selecting words that are related to your category or related to your genre or your niche that you're trying to find. The website area, and that's just kind of where you put your website. So if you have a website, that's where you'd put it in, and people will be able to click on that and they can be directed directly to your website. Now, I find that a lot of businesses that I've interacted with, or a lot of people that I've interacted with, they have an active website, but they're not actually putting it on Instagram. So guess what? You're missing out on the opportunity for people to be able to find you on your website, which means that it'll be very difficult for you to be able to reference them to anything that you've ever done. I see a lot of people, especially with hotels and especially with restaurants, that put a link to TripAdvisor. Now, it's a great idea for people to be able to see your reviews. It's a great idea for people to be able to see that you do a great job, because TripAdvisor is such a big thing in the restaurant and hotel industry. But what you're actually doing is you're directing people onto TripAdvisor website. Now, when you direct people onto TripAdvisor website, that's fantastic. They're going to be able to see you as well as 1,000 other people. What you're doing is you're directing people to a bigger search engine. So I'm not too sure how great an idea that is for a small business especially. I mean, if you're a huge business, then by all means go ahead and do it. But if you're an extremely small business, then my advice is that you try and direct people to your website rather than to another bigger website, if that makes sense. Now, I'm going to try and speed it up a little bit and talk about your bio here. Now, your bio, you see, I hope you can see that, but it's in reverse. But if you're able to see that, it's basically, that is a summary of what your account is about. It's a summary of what for fun, and you want people to be able to just come and have a look at your great outfit or your makeup or whatever it is that you're into, but whatever your account is about. So you need to be able to put it in maybe 4 to 5 sentences, as easy and as quick as you can. Try and keep it to a minimum of words, since Instagram doesn't allow you to use too many words on it. But make sure that the words that you select are actually very clear about what you are and who you are as an account. For example, for me, I've got 10 plus years in hotel management and airlines. I've got certified in travel and yoga, which is quite true. I am certified in all those things. I've got photographer and YouTuber. Yeah, I do photography and I am on YouTube. And then the last thing that I put is basically I'm a digital content creator, and what I do is I live for purposeful experiences, and I am teaching other people on how to do that. And I'm because I don't want to limit myself to one category or one topic, which is what I'm all about. That's why I kind of put it as a digital butterfly, because I'm able to spread my wings as such into various genres and various categories. So I'm able to talk about my main topic, which is Zanzibar, in its entirety. So I can talk about travel, and I'm able to make them discover new experiences that maybe they never heard of while they're living here in Tanzania. So I put that down there. I said helping others to do the same. So in short, my summary, my bio actually summarizes everything that I do. So if you're looking at your bio, my suggestion is just have a look and write down 4 points that you think describe you best. And do be careful about the words that you're selecting. Make sure that the words that you select actually reflect what you are. So for example, I try to help out a few places. I'm not going to mention names, but you know who you are. What you need to be able to do is, in a very short summary, be able to stand out among 1,001 accounts. And the only way that you can do that is to be as authentic and organic as possible. Now, a lot of people out there are trying to copy one another, and they're trying to copy what the competitors are doing, or they're trying to copy what somebody else is doing. But you know, here's the funny thing about what works. What works is authenticity, uniqueness, and originality, and that works on all platforms. And I'm not just talking about social media, I'm talking just in general. You're able to stand out if you're actually down and just write down 4 simple sentences and try and keep it to a minimal that describe you best. And you can't be everything, people. I am not going to stress this enough. You cannot be everything. You got to be good, and you're good at something, and that's what you should stick to. I think the trouble is people broaden themselves too much, and they're trying to be too big on so many levels that they forget their main focus and their main purpose. So if you're a dessert place, then focus your energy and focus your bio on being a really, really good dessert place. So if that's going to help you out, but I hope that you're able to gain a few tips. So number 1, fix your thumbnail and make sure that it's nice. Make sure that it summarizes who you are and what you are as a brand, as a person, as you know, as a fun account, whatever. But let it be a summary of what you want people to see on Instagram and what you want them to know about you on Instagram. The next thing that you need to do is make sure that you're fixing those weird names. Make sure that you don't have some random name that's quite difficult for people to search for. Just find something that's quite easy, relatable, and it does say a lot about you. The next thing is fix your bio. Make sure that you have summarize yourself in as minimal words as possible. Stop using all those emojis, because those emojis don't actually mean anything. If you're going to use emojis, make sure you just use 1 or 2. Keep it as simple and as basic as visuals in bullet point form. So the idea behind Instagram's bio is to keep it as simple as possible. So what Instagram is requesting you to do is to try and summarize yourself in bullet point form. So make sure that you fix that, and I hope this was helpful, and we'll chat soon. Love you lots, and again, keep flying, keep traveling, keep enjoying life, and I hope